Hi, my name's JJ Barnes. I'm a writer, I'm an author and a screenwriter, and I'm going to be doing a series of writing advice videos aimed at helping kids get into creative writing. If you are in self-isolation like me and my family are, that's why I'm in my bedroom, because the kids are downstairs, you might be struggling to find things that are fun and educational and keep you or your children busy. So hopefully this little series of videos that I'm going to be doing will help. I'm not a teacher, so I won't necessarily be able to use the same phrasing that your children or you yourself, if you're the child, are used to being taught in school. I am a professional writer, full-time writer. So what I am hoping I can do is inspire and encourage and motivate and get kids into a situation where they are going to be able to put some quality time into what I consider to be a wonderful activity. It's educational because, you know, everyone needs to be able to do this in school. They do creative writing all the time. And it will be practical. So it will be something that you can actually follow. I'll be doing it in short lessons, individual lessons. You can go back, catch up on ones you've watched, missed. You can watch them again if you need help again. And I will be answering questions. If you put comments below, tell me what you're writing. Tell me any struggles you've got with it, any questions you have about it, and I will be able to do videos and answer those questions. So whatever age you are and you're coming to this, hopefully I can help you. So the first thing I'm going to be talking to you about is, and I remember this from a lesson in school, and I loved English in school, obviously. It was my subject. Storytelling, storycraft is a passion of mine. I remember being told in school, stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The lesson didn't really go much further than that. It was just, stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. If, like me, you found this confusing, like, obviously stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, what are you trying to tell me? This little 3-section of videos I'm going to do now will answer that for you. So today's lesson is your middle, because I think that is the way you can get most confused. Your story begins, obviously you set up your characters, you tell your story, it ends when you finish writing it. So your middle, your midpoint. I'm going to focus on that, and then I'll do the beginning next time and the end the time after that. So your middle, your midpoint. For this, I'm going to be referencing a film that I'm pretty sure everybody has seen, The Lion King. Doesn't matter if it's the old one or the new one. Referencing The Lion King. And I'll also reference the film Titanic. Because if you are an older viewer, a teenager or anything like that, or an adult who also wants to learn, which is great because more people should write, in my opinion, I'll talk about Titanic. So if you think about The Lion King, you've got your story starts, Simba wants to be king. Can't wait to be king, blah, 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 blah. Goes on his little adventures. Midpoint, Mufasa dies, right? That is when the story pivots. So you start your story building up the line of the triangle. Midpoint, pivot, down, changes it. So your midpoint pivots your story. It changes your character's motivation. It changes the setting of your story. Again, Titanic, which I will... So if you haven't seen it, if you're a little kid, I'm not going to be talking about anything that is traumatic or scary. In Titanic, the midpoint is when they hit the iceberg. So at the beginning of the story of The Lion King, Simba wants to be king. You're following that goal. You're following what he wants. The death of Mufasa changes it. It sends him on a completely different journey. And it goes back down towards the climax. And of course, at the end of the story, he wants to be the king again. But the midpoint changes that. So it's good. You think of it as a pivot, right? It switches your story. In Titanic, the beginning of the story, Jack wants to be in a relationship with Rose. Rose wants to be... Their focus is on Jack and Rose and the romance and the love story. And that's what they want. When they hit the iceberg, their goal changes. It pivots the story. And then it goes crashing towards the climax of the story, where it's not that they don't want to be in love with each other anymore. Of course they do. It's still a love story at heart. Lion King is still a story about Simba wanting to become king of the Pride Lands at heart. But the motivation is changed. They now want to survive. So when you are telling your story, when you're thinking about your beginning, your middle, and your end, think about your characters, think about how they're going to end, and that's important. I will get to that. Midpoint. Your midpoint, think about what changes. It's a climactic event. It's something significant. It could be somebody dies, like in Lion King. It could be somebody professes love for someone else, which is in a love story or romantic comedy. It could be somebody moves. It could be somebody betrays somebody or hurts somebody, does something mean. In the book I wrote with my daughter, who is now 7 years old, and we wrote a book together because I love writing. I love to teach writing. So she learned with me in Nature Girl versus Worst Nightmare. And I'm not going to spoil it, because if you like a good book, it's excellent. And she's a very good brain. But the midpoint of that, it takes the children from the magical school. They've wanted to be the kids who can fight the bad guys and the monsters, and they want to help. And it sends them off, literally away. And they are put into a different situation that they then have to try and deal with through a portal. So it's a big climactic moment in the middle of the story, and it changes how things are. And it's when the bad guys arrive and take over the school. So your midpoint, focus on that. Think about it. Watch The Lion King again. Watch any Disney film, really, because the midpoint of a Disney film is usually pretty strong. Watch it. Work out what the midpoint is. Think about how you want to change the situation your characters are in. Think about what they might have to deal with that pushes them on a different journey towards the climax. Next time I'll do the beginning. The time after that I'll do the end. And then you'll be able to have a better understanding. If your teacher says the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story, you will know what they are talking about, and you can do it well. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be trying to do one of these a day. I do not promise this because, as I say, I am in self-isolation. I have 3 children downstairs who need me to help teach them. At the minute, their dad is teaching them, probably music, because that's what he's good at. And we also have, as I say, full-time writing careers. We have a movie in production, and everything's gone a bit haywire. But we are still trying to work full-time as well as teach our kids. So if I do not get one out a day, I'm really sorry. But I'm going to do my best. Parents, you can find me on social media if you want to ask me questions about your kids' writing there. Probably not that appropriate for your little children, because on social media and when I'm not teaching children, I use some of the bad words. So only find me there if you're a grown-up. But I would love to still talk about what your kids are doing, and I would love to help and hear about the writing that you are doing and your stories. So hopefully from here I will be able to help. And yeah, I'll put links below to all my social media, all my links, all my books, the ones that are appropriate for children. And I will be back again soon. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye.